The year is after Colony 195.
Oh my fucking Christ! Where's the skip button? We're doing a Gundam Wing episode.
So, you tried to get through most of Gundam Wing.
I fucking tried, you know.
I should have told you, to prepare some homework, take a couple philosophy books, learn a little bit total pacifism.
Yeah. See, when I initially looked at it and said 49 episodes in 2 weeks. Oh, welcome to Final Form, by the way, Ryan Taylor.
Mitchell.
So yeah, 49 episodes in 2 weeks, and I said, okay, this is totally doable.
I mean, most people go through Netflix series in that time, and those are hour-long episodes usually.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me that every 20-minute episode required 5 fucking Wikipedia articles of reading to understand what just fucking happened.
I didn't, because I understood this at age 10.
I have no idea how. So if you don't know by now, we're doing Mobile Suit Gundam Wing.
Well, technically, it's New Mobile Suit Report Gundam Wing.
Yes.
But everyone just calls it Mobile Suit Gundam Wing.
Yes.
Fit in with the franchise, goddammit.
I tried to watch it all. I got maybe 3/4, 2/3 of the way through it. I've still got a hefty number of episodes left for how much I've watched.
I will try and not be spoiler-tastic for a show that's over 20 years old.
Yeah, well, I mean...
that being said, though, happy 39th birthday, Gundam. You turned 39 the 7th of April.
Really?
Yeah, it's 39 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aren't we timely?
Kinda, I guess.
We're staying relevant. We're staying hip with the kids.
How can you stay hip with the kids? I never was hip with the kids.
We're lit AF, as the kids say, I think. I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, Gundam is set. It was made in April 7th, 1979. And it has been about this dense since then. And they'll cast your mind back to the halcyon days of the early 80s.
Oh boy.
And basically, at this time, Japan is obsessed with its giant fighting robots that just really started with, I want to say, check my notes here, in 1974 is right around the time when the two biggest robot franchises before, Mazinger and Getter Robo, were taking off. That's when the Monster of the Week formula really started, where evil galactic empire or mad scientist or demons from another realm send a monster every week, and the plucky heroic young men, and occasionally a couple girls, jump in their giant fighting robots that defy the laws of physics and make most scientists weep, battle whatever monster shows up with a whole, we are good, we will save the world. Then come 1979, where we are thrusted into the story of Mobile Suit Gundam.
I just want to hop in here and say that's impressive, because in 1974, we're looking at 44 years ago, and I mean that Monster of the Week formula is the basis of most sci-fi shows, cartoons.
I don't know if they were the ones who invented it, but they're definitely the ones that really started for Japan.
Yeah. Okay.
And Mazinger and Getter Robo are still around today. They're not as arguably as well loved as Gundam, but they're so... Basically, Gundam is the Batman of Japan.
Okay.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Mazinger, let's call him the Spider-Man.
Okay.
Really damn popular, but more people would say, I'm pretty sure Batman is better.
Yeah.
However, I would actually say Mazinger is stronger than Gundam, but that's because it defies physics every chance it can. I think it's literally powered by courage. No, that's another giant robot. Anyway, Gundam has always been that show that, well, when it first showed, it was the show that tried to buck the trend. The creator of Gundam is a very hostile kind of man.
Okay.
And he wanted to tell a story.
Mm.
That was his priority. He didn't want to sell toys. He wanted to tell a goddamn story.
Mm.
And he wanted to be as gray as all hell.
Okay.
It starts off with a space colony being attacked for the hidden weapon being built there. And after that, we find out that there's a war going on. But unlike most shows at the time where the good guys are all good and the bad guys are all tying them into railroad tracks, no, it's actually a war about people.
Yeah.
Actual people with reasons to be with the rebels that are technically the bad guys and reasons to be mustache-twirling evil on the good guy side. And Gundam has always really existed in that kind of way.
Yeah.
Being, let's tell a story where both sides can be right, and sometimes actually the main character you can't root for.
Yeah. Well, that sounds in line with everything I saw.
Yeah.
I think, maybe.
Well, the thing is about Gundam Wing is it starts off literally with 5 terrorists coming to Earth. And that's the thing I love about Gundam Wing and one of my other favorite animes, Code Geass. They both ask the question, when does terrorism equal rebellion?
Yeah, there's a fine line there.
There's a fine line, and sometimes they can cross back over.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Wing group, they're just basically trying to blow up the Alliance, or more specifically, the faction of the Alliance known as Oz, and then the Rockefeller Foundation. But anyway,
This might be the most popular show in history where the main characters were terrorist child soldiers.
Yeah. Well, if not, then one of the other shows Sunrise made was that.
Yeah, probably.
But it's basically, when you stop and deconstruct it, it is a show about terrorism.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you also can deconstruct it and say it's a show about honorable rebels fighting to stop the evil empire, in a sense. It really is the thing about Gundam is you can easily pick a side and be right.
Yeah.
Can you do that for, say, the Avengers movie? Can you pick Loki's side and be right?
I mean, he's sort of, No, I can't.
Can you pick,
I can't.
I haven't watched the movies, but can you pick Hydra and be right in the Captain America movies?
No.
I mean, in the Civil War, you can be right depending which side you pick.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was the whole point of that movie. It had to go out of its way for that. But Gundam...
But even then, you haven't seen Civil War,
No,
right?
I have not.
Like, it is hero versus hero, and you can pick either side. At the same time, there is the villain.
Yeah.
At the same time, who is the third party, who... I guess you could kind of see their point, but it is still kind of hard to fight for them.
But the closest to a straightforward released movie in the last few years that can do that is you can kind of agree with the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
But he also crosses the line pretty damn fast in that movie.
Like, he has some good points, but his actions were a little much.
Yeah, he was probably the grayest villain Marvel has done.
Yeah.
There are other gray villains, of course, in the series, but he's definitely the one where you're going, I can see, okay, you went too far, but you still have a good point, but put down the disintegration ray, please.
Yeah.
And even in Gundam Wing, they try and redeem, or at least show, how some of the most evil people, or what you conceive as evil, were noble, true spirits. I know you haven't gotten there yet, but Treize Khushrenada has a kind of redeeming episode.
Okay.
Didn't redeem himself for me, but I know some people have told me, oh yeah, I totally felt bad for him after this episode. You do remember what he also caused before this, right? That doesn't really wash his hands of that, and even the Gundam pilots never say that their hands are clean.
Oh, fuck, I hope not.
No. Duo forever considers himself the god of death, even after the series where he becomes a priest.
Yeah.
He becomes a priest because, it's not the right thing to do, it's just what I'm going to do to help orphans. He's not doing it to save his soul. He's doing it to save orphans.
Of course. It's all about the orphans.
For him, at least, it is.
So we should probably back up and at least do a... Or are you still have some history to
go
through?
No, that history can come or go. Whereas I just wanted to set this tone.
Yeah. So the show we're actually reviewing here, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, or what was the
New Mobile Report? I think it's called
New Mobile Report.
Like I said, no one calls it that. Everyone refers to it as either Gundam Wing or at least try to say Mobile Suit Gundam Wing.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we should explain what a mobile suit is first.
I guess.
Basically, think of the Jaegers from Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's the...
A mobile suit is a humanoid, generally humanoid-shaped giant robot where people jump inside and instead of shoot each other with guns, shoot each other with giant robot guns.
Yeah, there you go. And laser swords when necessary.
Yes. And Gundams are essentially... fancier made ones. Every Gundam series has a different reason for why this machine is called a Gundam.
Yeah.
In Gundam Wing, it's because they're made of a special space alloy that makes them nearly invulnerable to everything except for plot-specific moments where they get shot actually hard.
Yeah.
That was one of my problems with Gundam Wing as a kid is how come they can bounce off these shots, but this time these guns are doing damage to them? Is it like a video game sometimes when you hold the trigger down more, you jump higher? And Lieutenant Red Shirt realizes, oh yeah, I've only been doing half clicks. Or, no, I can't even say they decide to aim better, because they just hit the same, usually the torso spot.
Oh yeah.
But, unlike in most Fire Forts, hitting the torso in a Gundam makes sense, because that's where the cockpit is. If you kill the pilot, you kill the machine.
Yeah.
I mean, if you blow up the head, they just lose their main camera.
Yeah, really though.
Have backup cameras, and considering one of the Gundams it literally just has machine gun spam as their main attack, I don't think that's going to slow him down.
No.
But the plot of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing is there's the Earth, and Earth has space colonies floating around it.
I'm going to listen and find out in this time as well.
The space colonies are pretty much being oppressed by Earth because they're worker class citizens in a sense. They're mining space meteorites and whatnot just to provide Earth with whatever Earth wants at the time. It's pretty oppressive, and there's a military faction of Earth called Oz that are the ones building these mobile suits to make Earth stronger. And anyone who doesn't agree with the Earth Federation gets taken over by Oz's troops.
And something I did not realize at the beginning of the show, but found out very quickly, is that Oz and the Alliance are separate, but together at the beginning. Like,
yes.
Oz is, I guess, the military wing of the Alliance. Is that right?
There are more lines of, you know how, I'm going to use this example, there's the Navy in the United States.
Yeah.
And then the Navy has the Navy SEALs.
Okay.
Specialized. That's basically what Oz is. They're the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Only if the Navy SEALs were the size of the Navy.
Yeah.
And Oz also has the R&D department. They're the ones making these mobile suits. They're the ones testing them and then providing them to Joe Schmo in the Army so he can help, do whatever the Alliance wants, which is generally, that nation's neutral. We'll add them to our collection of nations we've conquered.
How about, for comparison, maybe, the Alliance being the United States government and Oz being NASA? Like, technically, it is the United States space program.
Yes,
but NASA are the ones doing the work.
Yeah, that's a pretty good explanation. Yeah, I was going to say something along the lines of UN peacekeeping forces.
Yeah, exactly.
Oz is basically
a subsidiary, I guess. Yeah. A subsidiary?
They have their own chain of command, but they technically listen to the Alliance.
Yeah. But
halfway through the show, they turn tail on the Alliance and then free the nations the Alliance used the Oz's machines to take over. And you're basically going like, who's the bad guy again?
Yeah, and don't forget the Rockefeller Foundation,
which is the corrupt businessmen who make money off war, and
so they were paying Oz, who were part of the Alliance, and then Oz turned on...
When Oz turned on the Alliance, they also turned on the Romer Foundation, and the Romer Foundation well, we can't have both our minions fighting each other. Let's just fight Oz.
So if you're listening to this and don't know the show and are confused as fuck, don't worry, I am too. Trying to narrow down the different factions of this show, their motives and their interactions and histories and relationships is...
Not even real on the show for some people.
Oh my god, it's like advanced Sudoku.
Yes, but that's the thing about every conflict is that they don't show you in most fiction. It's usually just A, B, sometimes C. They don't show you that, like in real life, armies have factions. I mean, we can go back to any World War and basically go, some nations jumped sides.
Yeah.
Why? Well, that's not really important to this history textbook. Mm-hmm. Gundam Wing decides, let's actually tell you why that happened and why this group is flip-flopping constantly. And that's not even add in that there's one more faction that shows up near the end of the show called the White Fang.
And that's honestly, I haven't even seen that yet.
And the White Fang is basically the colonies have gotten tired of the Gundams not doing their goddamn job of ending oppression of the colonies, so they become militant themselves and use remote-controlled robots to fight for them.
Wait.
Which then forces...
Hold on. The colonies get sick of the Gundams not doing their job?
Pretty much, yeah.
But what happened to the Gundams, the colonies referring to the Gundams as, enemies of the state and siding with Oz? That's
one of the things that they do. It's basically, not all the colonies agreed with the Gundams. Some of them did, some of them didn't. But White Fang is gathering most of the colonies together, even the ones that agreed or disagreed with the Gundams. And then Oz gets hired back by the Alliance to fight White Fang.
Holy fucking Christ.
And the Gundams end up fighting both Oz and the White Fang at the same time.
So... Again, this is just the factions and groups that the story takes place within. This is not even the story. This is the details of the story. 49 episodes.
And if you count the movie, there is one more faction.
Oh, good, great.
Which are just basically leftovers of Oz.
Because we didn't have enough.
Yes. But these ones are just there to take over the world. Yeah. But these ones are the easy ones to follow.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's basically let's invite everyone over, including that guy over there across the street.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the show. I had a good time. There are things about this show that I really enjoy. It's a little much, though.
Yes.
So maybe we should go through the characters, or at least some of them.
Alright, well, the face of Gundam Wing is a guy named Hiro Yui.
But not the... original hero.
No, in fact, there's a guy we never meet named Hiro Yui who was a pacifist.
What is it? The year after Colony 179? Is that right? Am I getting the date right there?
That sounds about right to me.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can get my information right here. Hiro Yui was he was part of the colonies.
Yes.
But he was a pacifist who was actually probably bringing about peace between the Earth Alliance and colonies. He seemed like he was getting successful, and then he was assassinated.
Yeah.
At which point, I forget is there a name on the scientists in the colonies who?
They're all named after letters. Dr. J. Yeah. Dr.
But was there a total name on the group of those guys?
Oh, I forget now.
Okay.
That's small details.
Yes. Anyway, scientists in the colonies decided to build 5 Gundam robots to send to the Earth. As a sort of...
fuck you guys!
Yeah, sort of
we wanted peace! Now you get it!
Yeah, we really wanted peace, but since you guys didn't let us have peace, we will definitely not have peace.
Yeah, you're the ones who started this mess, we're cleaning it up.
Yeah, but I guess through a series of events, that got delayed?
Yeah, the thing about... they refer to this as Operation Meteor.
Yeah, there you go.
Operation Meteor is one of those things that's even more confusing than the factions.
Yeah.
Because first is it Gundams? No, it's dropping a space colony. No, it's a giant fuck you laser. No, it's the Gundams for real. No, actually, it's dropping an entire army. What?
So, based on the years 179 to 195, which is the current day in the show, I'm guessing that they were like, well, we could send like adult trained pilots, but let's raise some kids.
Yeah, they basically select a handful of kids, and Hiro Yui, not the pacifist, a trained assassin since he was a child, is picked as the main character.
Stone cold killer.
He has been killing since about age 8 or 10, and he is not exactly what you'd call skilled in the terms of socialization.
So, was this on YTV?
This is on YTV.
Okay.
This is on YTV. This is where the main character tells a woman that he's going to kill her in public.
Because she invited him to her birthday party.
We'll get into that story later on, I think.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah, he's our main character, and we follow him pretty much every episode, where we get to watch his, I guess, adventures is where we want to use for that, where he goes about with his giant fuck you laser cannon robot, destroying military bases and the soldiers doing their damn jobs.
And he has, I guess, kind of the title Gundam.
Yes, because he has the Winged Gundam.
Yeah.
Or referred to as Wing 1 sometimes.
Yeah. And
he later on gets what's referred to as the Wing 0.
The show's called Gundam Wing, but the Gundam's called Wing Gundam.
Yeah, I know. It's not the weirdest thing Gundam has done in terms of his naming. In fact, there's oftentimes the title has no relationship to the main Gundam.
Good. Great.
Yeah. For example, Gundam Seed. There is no Seed Gundam. Gundam Seed Destiny. There is a Destiny Gundam.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
G Gundam. There is no G Gundam.
Oh, boy.
Gundam Unicorn. There is a Unicorn Gundam.
We're going to have to do a G Gundam episode.
Oh, God, yeah.
It sounds utterly fucking ridiculous.
Yes. Yes, it will.
We'll get to that when the time comes.
Yes. But anyway, back onto the topic of trying to explain Hiro Yui. He must have been really hard to actually voice because he has no goddamn emotions.
No.
He's pretty much what I want to say the progenitor of the blank, emotionless, emo main character of a of an anime in general.
So much teen angst.
Yes, he is walking teen angst, but unlike a lot of characters where you go, okay, he's just being a teenager, considering his most recurring memory is that he was ordered to blow up an Oz base in a colony, the chain reaction of explosions he caused crushes a little girl that he actually befriended. And he constantly remembers killing that little girl by mistake, and it haunts him to this pretty much... What I understand, he lives for 200 years, so it haunts him for 200 years.
200 years, good.
He gets frozen for about 150 of them.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah, I guess.
The next main character, I guess you could say... I guess you could argue it's either Lena Peacecraft or Duo Maxwell.
I would say we should go through the Gundam pilots first.
Alright, well, Duo Maxwell is definitely the next most prominent Gundam character, and he's voiced by one of the men known for 1,000 voices, or at least 1,000 roles, Scott McNeil.
I know that. I was watching the show and
Tell me, did you ever watch Beast Wars?
Yes.
Scott McNeil was most of the Beast Wars characters.
Oh my God, I'm hearing it now.
Yes, you are.
When I was watching it, I was like, why is this guy's voice so fucking familiar?
Yeah, and one of the things I love about Scott McNeil is there's a scene where his Gundam gets destroyed.
Yeah. And
he didn't know how to emote that feeling until he remembered the time his wife backed over his motorcycle. So he used that memory to scream out what happened to his Death Scythe Gundam, which, incidentally, I love the Death Scythe Gundam.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's what you think it is. It's a Grim Reaper Gundam with a beam saber on the scythe blade. So it's a laser scythe.
Yeah.
And later it gets upgraded with cloaking.
Just to clarify here, like I'm hearing this right. The guy who voiced Duo voiced Rat Trap, didn't he?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And Dinobot.
Okay. Yep.
And Silverboat. And I think Pterosaur. Huh. I can't remember if he voiced Pterosaur or not. But yeah, basically, if you look at Scott McNeil's list of things he's voiced, and actually, I think Duo is one of his favorite characters he's ever voiced.
I could see that.
And Duo is just of the 5 Gundam pilots, the one you could actually have a goddamn conversation with. I think
he's the least angsty.
Yeah,
he's the one who will talk about things other than a glorious death and suicide, I guess.
But he also is looking for suicide.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
He wants death.
He still wants to die the right way, and is completely committed to giving his life for his cause. But he likes other things, I guess. Yeah. He likes to have a good time.
He goes on dates. He has a social life.
Yeah.
Although my biggest question is, how does he braid that long braid ponytail he has?
Oh my god. Yeah.
But yeah, he's... You could actually talk the most or least about him because of just... He's the least messed up, and that kind of, for some people, makes him the least interesting, but honestly... He's just so much fun when he's on screen.
He is. I think there's so much time spent on characters who are either depressed, angry, or currently in a mental breakdown. So that when Duo's on screen, it's a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh hey, look, he has a smile on his face.
Basically, it's like watching a terrible soap opera where everyone's angsty, and all of a sudden you change the channel and there's a comedy show. You're just, oh, thank God, I don't even care about the bad comedy.
Oh God, I just need to...
The thing about Duo is, even when you deliver some of the more badly written lines, because you know it's Scott McNeil and he's giving it his all, because I don't think Scott McNeil can give anything less than his all.
Yeah.
He brightens the room up. He makes some scenes completely tolerable.
Yeah.
And honestly, most people I know say he's their favorite of the Gundam pilots.
I could see that.
I want to say Hero used to be mine when I watched this when I was 10 because, the cold stoic guy. But Duo is definitely my favorite of the 5 main Gundam pilots.
Something I'm realizing is, you said you watched this when you were about 10.
Yeah.
When I was 10, I don't think I would have been able to watch this. Too much story. I was a very simple-minded kid. I was that kid who was interested in the storyline of Power Rangers. But also was interested in the fights. You might have been the only one.
Yes. Now, at least. There are lots of people who will say that now they are, but back in the day, no, nobody said that. Okay, I guess we'll talk about...
But what I was going to say is, when I was 10, I definitely wouldn't have watched it. But now I'm thinking back, when I was like 13, maybe?
Yeah.
Because that was like peak teen angst time.
Yeah.
I hate everything, I want to blow up the world.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But speaking of teen angst, I guess we'll talk about Troa next, who is somehow even more robotic sounding than
Troa is, to put it lightly, in my opinion, I guess a poor man's hero.
Yeah, he's either hero light or hero times 2.
Oh.
I'm not sure which he is, but he's definitely more confusing background-wise.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of angst and emotionlessness, I mean, there's that scene where he blows up. He blows up the Death Scythe.
Yeah.
And he very calmly states, "Are those my tears?" Or what's the line like?
I think, are these my tears?
Yeah. Because he's crying.
Yeah, Heavy Arms is Gundam, yeah. And and you're just like, what happened to you, man? But the thing is, Troa Barton is not his name.
No.
In fact, the only thing we get close to a name in the series is he gets referred to as, if you must call me something, call me no name.
Okay.
And I'm just like, wow.
How many of them actually use their real names? Because Troa doesn't, Hero doesn't.
Pretty sure Catras is his real name.
Okay, yeah, because you see his family in the backstory.
Duo, I think... Maxwell is definitely his real... It was... Father Maxwell was the guy who took care of Duo. So he's taking Maxwell either as an homage, or he literally changed his last name to Maxwell. Wu Fei, I know... We'll get to Wu Fei, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, even other characters like Zex Marquise, I mean, he's... was it
Miliardo Peacecraft.
There you go.
There's interesting thing about everyone who pilots a Gundam.
Yeah.
Hero, 1. Duo, 2.
Yep.
Troa, 3.
Yep.
Catra, 4. Wu Fei means somewhere along those 5. I don't know which part means 5. And Miliardo literally means million.
Yep. Yep. And I mean, I believe Zex is German for 6.
I think so, yeah. It sounds like...
I looked it up because I was only like 3 episodes in. I was like...
These names have a theme.
A lot of numbers going on here.
Yeah, and...
Lady Un...
I forgot about Lady Un, yeah.
Yeah. Trace.
Trace, yeah.
Yeah, they're like... So I looked.
I was half expecting Relina's real name to be revealed to be something with a number. I was hoping maybe her middle name is Relina Pie Peacecraft.
Like, yes, you've been raised as what's her last name? Relina.
Oh,
Darlene?
Darlene?
Yeah.
Darlene? I forget.
Something like that. Darlene.
I never remember.
Your birth name was actually 37 Peacecraft. Just straight up.
They should have been. But yeah, going back to Troa is...
9. Another one. No.
Yeah. But going back to Troa, it's really hard to talk about him because he's basically the butter in a sandwich. Mm. He's just there.
Yeah.
He's got one of the better Gundams, the Heavy Arm, which is the Gundam covered in guns.
I really like the design of Heavy Arms. That was the Gundam that I kind of grabbed to.
The thing is, a lot of people end up grabbing the Heavy Arms because it's just usually the simplest solution is to bring a lot of guns.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But he's really hard to talk about. He disguises himself as a circus performer, but he's also a secret agent, but he also doesn't have any past, and he's just... He has a running thing about how when they need to infiltrate the enemy's side, he does it, and he does it so well. His friends are like, did he betray us for real this time? He shot me. I think he did. But he can just, like... I'm pretty sure one of the original versions of his lines is, what are emotions?
Yeah, that sounds in line with him, yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know anyone who hates him. He's just, like I said, he's the butter of a sandwich. He's there. He's there to do a purpose.
Yeah. I didn't hate him. I didn't really
gravitate to him.
Yeah.
You're not upset that he's there, and you're rarely asking, hey, where's Troa?
Yeah. It's really funny, in terms of the characters I liked out of those Gundam pilots and the Gundams I liked, it doesn't always match up.
No, it doesn't.
Duo and Death Scythe are among the top, and the Wing Gundam and Hero. Yeah. But the other three are all over the place for me.
I can definitely say, for the next one, Katra, he might be the worst of the Gundam pilots.
And his Gundam didn't do much for me either. No, Sandrock?
Sandrock. It's got one of the cool melee weapons, which is two giant curved swords that superheat themselves to cut through anything like butter. You've seen the 1,000-degree knife versus.
Yeah.
That's his Gundam's main weapon. But at the same time, it's got no range. Even Duos has some range. Mm-hmm. And he is...
It's got a bit of a bland design. It doesn't really...
It's called Sandrock.
It does have... Now, what is the name of that, basically army that he has back
the Maganda Force?
Yeah.
Something like that. They're basically just sidekicks to the Gundams.
Yeah.
Whatever the Gundams do, they do. So they're the least confusing faction. They're just basically... Katra has a bunch of backup dancers.
Yeah, backup dancers. They're right.
Yep. Their suits are okay designed. They're not going to win any awards, in my opinion, but...
You know, we said Duo had the least angst. It's probably Katra.
Katra...
But, he also doesn't have much of a personality.
Okay, Duo has the least angst. Katra is trying to have angst. Yeah. I've always got that impression from him. He's trying, okay, everyone's angsty right now, so I gotta be angsty too. Hey, oh no, everyone's distressed. I better go do this machine that screws with my brain.
Katra trying to have teen angst is what's a good example? It's like Mickey Mouse trying to look tough.
Yes.
He has... I mean, yeah, obviously...
oh, God, now I cannot help but picture Katra being voiced by Mickey Mouse. It would so work in some scene.
It would work. It's not that he doesn't have an interesting backstory or interesting stuff doesn't happen to him, but, he has...
To go back to my analogy of that, if Troa is the butter... Katra is the untoasted white bread you didn't put in the toaster.
Yeah. There you go.
He's the brains of the five, but sometimes you wonder why.
Yeah.
He's also the one I really didn't like the most because he's the one who goes really hard into, we have to end war, we have to go become pacifists. I'm like, you are literally a giant death robot.
Okay, here we go. We're going full sandwich analogy here. Catra's the untoasted white bread. What'd you say?
Troa's the butter.
Troa's the butter. Hero's the meat.
Yes.
Duo is the fun, tasty condiment.
Yes.
And Wu-Fei is the black olives. A little bitter, not for everybody, but kind of works.
Yeah. He didn't work for me, but
Yeah.
I still. Here's the thing about them, though. At least he looks good on a sandwich.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you don't like olives or black olives on your sandwich, you gotta admit, when they're stuck in with the sword tooth thing, you stand back going,
yeah,
that's a professional-looking sandwich.
There you go.
Why didn't I toast that piece of bread? Yeah, Wu-Fei is the fifth one, and he's kind of a stereotype, too. He's a Chinese warrior from a Chinese colony who must have an honorable fight, but the thing is, at least you know his motives are honorable.
Yeah. One question, because I haven't finished it. Does the thing ever get resolved where, like, he mentions on several occasions that he doesn't fight women?
No.
That's just an issue that they never...
No. Like I said, he's a stereotype.
But, it's not even necessary. Like,
no, it's just...
there are times where, like, he's fighting, and the second he finds out that he's fighting a woman, he's just like...
Nope.
No, I'm just gonna walk away from this fight. This isn't worth my time.
I don't fight women.
I don't fight weak, pathetic women. It's basically that like Wu-Fei is interesting, and there's cool scenes like his first fight with Trace, where he
that sword duel, yeah, and they have a rematch near the end of the series where it's a Gundam fight.
Okay,
and
I want to see that.
Oh, it's good. In fact, Trace pilots a Tallgeese Mark II.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also, of the 5 Gundams, he's the only one with a quirk of... His Gundam is called the Shenlong Gundam.
Yeah.
He refers to it as the Nataku. Not the Nataku Gundam, he just called it the Nataku. Mm. And I don't remember why he did that, and I don't remember if they were talking about that. I'm always like, as a kid, that confused me more than the factions on how the doctors call it the Shenlong, and he keeps calling it the Nataku. And I'm like, what's its name? What's its name? What's its name?
I found, starting off, it was kind of confusing in fight scenes because the Wing Gundam and the Shenlong have very similar color.
Yeah, they're both got a blue.
The blue, yellow, red sort of color palette. And, like, you only have 5 main Gundams. You probably could have picked something else there.
When it gets upgraded, it's green.
Yeah. Is there a different name on it when it's upgraded? Is that because I've seen that already?
It's got basically it's Shenlong and then a name attached to it.
Okay.
I know for the Death Scythe, it goes from Death Scythe to Death Scythe Hell.
Yeah.
Which actually caused a controversy when they tried to sell the toy in North America.
Oh boy.
But that's not the first time Gundam's caused controversy with his names. There's literally a Gundam called the God Gundam and one called the Devil Gundam.
Oh no.
In North America, they refer to as the Burning Gundam and the Dark Gundam.
Oh my god. Oh, the 90s were... Wait, when was that?
That was G Gundam.
Oh, G Gundam? Okay, of course, yeah.
Which I think we got after Gundam Wing, but technically it aired in Japan before Gundam Wing.
Either way, the 90s was a fun time for people kicking up stink about toys and video games, wasn't it?
Yep. Yep. But, that's the 5 main Gundam pilots. You can notice we had more to say about the first 2, and as we progressed along, we had less to say about them.
Yeah.
Then we get to the unofficial 6th Gundam pilot, Zex Marquise, a.k.a. Miliardo Peacecraft, the Lightning Baron, also referred to the Lightning Count.
Okay.
Who is hands down the most interesting of the male characters.
Yeah.
He starts off as the rival for Hero, then kind of sides with the Gundams, and he's the final boss. He ends up leading the White Fang.
Yeah.
And he's definitely the most fleshed out of them, I think, because we know his whole story. He was a prince.
Yeah.
His nation is conquered. He becomes friends with the leader of Oz, Trace Kushonada, who basically helps him become a soldier. His kingdom is all about pacifism, but he realizes pacifism will not save his kingdom. So he becomes a soldier, breaks his father's vow of pacifism, and he is a damn good soldier.
Oh, yeah.
He gets also the best robots.
Yep. Well, I mean, so far I've only seen the Tallgeese, which was fucking awesome.
He gets the Tallgeese.
We should explain the Tallgeese here.
We will.
As well.
He pilots the Wing Zero.
Yep.
And he ends the series in my favorite mech of the series, the Epion.
Which I have just really seen for the first time in where I am in the series.
Like I said, Zek starts off as a prince, becomes a soldier, and then leaves Oz because he and Trace no longer agree with each other about how conflict should be handled. Trace and Zex only worked together until Zex could save his homeland. They're still friends. Even when even when Oz and White Fang are fighting, they still refer to each other as the best of friends. And, yeah, they grieve for each other. And...
So, you may have noticed a vast improvement in the audio quality all of a sudden, and that's because 50 minutes into the recording, I realized that the computer was recording us with the standard computer mic and not our actual podcasting mic.
Technology.
So, we're going to keep it because...
we had a thing going. We had energy to it.
Yeah. So, technical difficulties. Sorry about the quality of the first 50 minutes or so. Hopefully, post will fix some of the issues there.
Yes. If it's that bad to you, I will activate the self-destruct sequence.
But you won't actually die.
Oh, no. Okay, why don't we talk about that? Because I forgot where we were. So let's talk about the Gundams. And the first thing is, if you're in a giant fighting robot and you set it to explode, should you die?
Probably.
Yeah, tell that to Hiro Yui. He is resilient.
Yeah.
I mean, their excuse is, he was a trained soldier since he was a child. Yes, that would probably make him able to beat up most people in a room. Survive an explosion where you're sitting inside the explosion?
The thing about the self-destruct, and not like... I mean, I've watched a lot of fantasy and sci-fi. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief.
I could have believed he would have lived, yes.
Yeah, sure. But after the, say, third time that a Gundam pilot says, this will be a glorious death, and sets the self-destruct, and then lives, I'm like, okay, I guess they don't kill anybody in this fucking show ever. Because...
they do. But they also don't.
Yeah,
But the thing that I can believe they can survive this, and I understand they need to be up in action after at most an episode in bed.
Yeah.
But could you at least ruin their hair? Or give them some scars? No, they gotta stay pretty boys?
Yeah.
Which, speaking of pretty boys, the Gundam pilots are actually designed after male models.
Oh,
I understand. Okay. Which is why Gundam Wing is the most popular Gundam series among women.
Okay, I get that.
Especially the, if you're familiar with the term, the yaoi fan base.
Oh, okay, I'm not familiar with that.
Yaoi refers to, in Japanese, as boys' love, which is when two men are together.
Okay.
The reverse is yuri, when it's two girls together.
Okay.
But yeah, Gundam Wing is incredibly popular among women.
Okay.
Because of the pretty boys, and they could never damage them even in their explosions.
Yeah. No,
or when they get trapped in spacesuits in space.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Hero bleeded once, maybe.
I think they've all bled, but it's
bled. That's the word, not bleeded. I guess bled is what I meant. I mean,
yes, but
potato.
Technical difficulties with mouth, but they at most get like paper cuts on their arms, and they'll wear the standard white bandages wrapped around them, which, in anime, if you're wearing a bandage, that means you're healing.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you should be held up in bed. Like, the only time I can think of an anime character being in a full-body suit was Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But then Goku ate a magical mystical being to fix all wounds and restore all stamina. Yeah, and we were talking about Zex, and Prince to soldier to rebel leader, and you can follow his beats pretty well. There's a couple of times you wonder where his leaps of logic were, but out of the Gundam pilots, he's the only technical adult.
Yeah.
And he has a very interesting relationship with Hiro, especially when it comes involving the next most important character in the series, Miss Relina Peacecraft, who we later find out is Zex's little sister, who, yes, in the end of the whole Gundam Wing series, she and Hero actually do become an official item.
Oh, really?
We don't get that out until like a spin-off manga at the end of the series.
Okay.
But yeah, that makes the whole rivalry with Zex more interesting.
Yeah.
Also, considering a couple scenes, he actually willingly hands over his sister to Hero.
Okay.
Because he realizes that Hero is going to do a better job protecting her than he will.
Yeah.
Zex makes himself into a martyr at one point. Because he realized, I can't be the ruler of the Sank Kingdom. I've done so much bloodshed. Like I said, he goes full ham to it. He realizes what I've become. Well, let's just roll with it.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, the final fight between him and Hero is one of my favorites in anime.
Nice.
It takes place in this falling apart space weapon.
Oh, okay. That's
basically think of imagine if Darth Vader and Luke had their epic duel in the exploding chamber of the Death Star rather than just in a room in the Death Star.
I could see that being pretty fucking
Plus,
cool.
the two of them can fly.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, Relina and Hero end up together, which, I mean, should have been obvious from the get-go. They had such chemistry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she invites him to her birthday party. He tears the envelope and tells her, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. And it's in the most dramatic way.
Yeah.
Like,
rip, toss.
And starting to walk past her, but stopping when you're side to side. You know, you got that dramatic side to side, and then just a slight head turn, and I'll kill you.
And then continue walking away.
I mean, I've gone to parties that I didn't want to be at. I've been forced to go places and out to clubs that I didn't want to be there. But there are better ways to go about it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've wished death upon people in these certain events, but I don't go up and tell them to that.
No.
I'll just sit there and grumble into my bottle of pop.
It's called uttering threats. That's a fucking offense.
I mean, that's totally the worst thing Hero does in the entire series.
Absolutely. That's the worst.
Actually, most people I know say that is the worst thing he did in the series. I just look at him. He blew up an oil factory.
Yeah.
Oil foundation.
Yeah.
Refinery. Jeez. Third time. Yeah.
So, Relina is interesting.
She's, if not the first, the most prevalent of what's referred to as the princess of the Gundam princesses.
Okay.
Where they are usually the stout pacifists, and well, let's just say Relina has a huge set of balls for a privileged white princess.
Yeah.
There are several points where a gun is literally pointed at her face by stone cold killers. I don't even think she blinks at them.
No.
I almost think she intimidates a few of them to back down. Here's the thing, she is so stoutward to her beliefs, and she is so good at giving speeches at one point. She almost gets named the Queen of Earth.
Oh, yeah.
The Roma Foundation tries to use her to their advantage by using her as a figurative puppet head, and her own popularity allows her to take control slightly of the Roma Foundation. And, yeah.
Oh, my.
And even after she's not made queen in the movie, people still refer to her as Queen Relina because they hold her in that much regard.
Okay.
And she is doing that much work for actual pacifism, despite the fact that a couple of her beliefs don't work in real life. But then again, it's an anime. Real life is something you need to forget about sometimes.
So despite any actual title, everyone just refers to her queen anyway.
Yeah, even when she no longer is ruler of the Saint, her own kingdom.
So I mean, she's basically the Beyonce of Gundam.
In her universe, yes. She's not my favorite of the Gundam princesses, but she is definitely the progenitor of a lot of their tropes.
Yeah.
Even the ones I hate can trace their roots back to Relina. Mm-hmm. And as a kid, I couldn't stand her. No. Because she was talking about pacifism in a show about giant fighting robots.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I understood the show as a kid. Does not mean I was politically correct as a kid. No. Or kind, or whatever you want to say. But as an adult who actually knows this stuff, all I can say to her is, you go, girl. You're not doing it right, but you are trying and giving 110% every time, so...
Yeah.
And I give credit to her actress in the dub. I can't remember her name now, but she could not have been easy to voice in some scenes.
No.
And she gives such really heavy-handed speeches, and to still make her sound human...
Yeah.
That's another thing we need to mention about this, is the Gundam Wing's dub is... I remember it being better.
Yeah, there were times when I was like, I don't know.
I mean, for the main characters,
Yeah.
they definitely picked some good people. Some of them were, I don't care who you are, some of the lines they give and the acting these characters have to do, nobody can make them sound good.
No. I remember one specific character. I cannot tell you the name or the motives or what that character was in this show.
Yeah.
Because every time they were on screen, I was just like, oh my god, this voice acting is so terrible.
Yeah.
And he was an older guy. I feel like he was maybe wearing like a Hawaiian shirt of some sort or something like that.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, my brain. I'm either getting that mixed up with another character, but yeah I think...
Like, something along those lines. And like his delivery was very much like, I'm going to try and sound as much like a hip surfer dude.
Yeah.
And it was just,
oh
boy.
yeah. The guy who flies the ship called the Peace Million.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
I mean, yeah, he definitely does. His actor is definitely trying. But the thing is, I think his actor is also 5 other characters at the same time.
Oh, yeah. That would do it.
The thing is, they're at least trying to change their voices and their implications. But there is one voice actor who I swear is in every single episode, and he's always Soldier A, which is a thing in anime where Soldier A is usually the first one to die.
Yeah.
And yes, he ends up dying, I think, in nearly every episode. And I wish there was like a DVD commentary where we get to have that guy go, oh, there's when I died. I died in this episode.
Yep.
This when I lived.
For this death, I tried something a little different.
For this death, I had a sore throat, so I ended up making it sound less realistic. For the next death, I stubbed my toe on purpose.
I couldn't show up to this day, so they just used the Wilhelm scream instead.
Oh god, now I want a clip of all the exploding mechs with a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah.
And quote citizens, wow, the Wilhelm family cannot pilot robots. But, like I said, for an early anime dub of the 90s,
Yeah.
I have heard worse done in modern day.
Yeah.
And like I said, I give credit where credit is due. And a lot of the actors, this is either their first time or they have no idea. I don't even know if they had a proper, voicing director. Because a lot of early animes I know didn't, and if they did, they were also one of the actors.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be the director and an actor at the same time. I don't imagine they record at the same time, but
No.
if you're doing that if you're voicing a character and then you have to go back into the dubbing in the booth to give directions, you're probably exhausted yourself. Considering how often the Gundam cuts have to scream. I mean, it's not Dragon Ball Z level of screams.
No. They happen every episode instead of being an episode.
Yes. And usually the scream makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
There's a couple of screams in Gundam where I'm like, why are you screaming?
Yeah.
But screaming when your giant robot explodes. Like I said, that story with Scott McNeil is one I just love listening to. And just like, yeah. I definitely do think Duo may be the best voiced in that show.
Yeah.
Like, he may not be the best acted. Like, some of the actors have a lot. Like I said, a lot of the characters are very withdrawn.
Yeah.
Like, I like Zex as a character, but he doesn't really emote much.
No.
But that's his character. He's not supposed to.
I think Duo is maybe the only voice I can picture perfectly.
Yes.
Like, he has the most memorable.
Yeah. I can picture Hero and Zex, but I might be getting them mixed up because they're both... Like, Zex is probably deeper, but they're both withdrawn, not very emotive people.
Yeah.
And then there's Trey's, who's also withdrawn, not very emotive. Then there's Droa, withdrawn, not very emotive. And a lot of Relina's scenes, she has to be withdrawn and not very emotive. And she's a girl. And I'm like, you could probably put one of the guys in her role for some scenes that would have worked just as well. But Duo, even when he's somber, there's life in him.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's probably one of the ones that you could easily have a conversation with because he it feels the most human out of the pilots.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, not every story needs a human. I mean, people apparently like Captain America, and I think he's pretty much flat wood. But then there's a whole bunch of other side important characters. We keep mentioning this character, Treize Khushrenada. He's the big boss of Oz, and he's playing a chess game with the world that even I don't fully understand.
Yeah, Treize is that was one of the parts of it that I kept having to look up because I wasn't quite sure what he was doing most of the time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He is supposed to be written like that. He is playing a grand chess game with the entire goddamn world as a chessboard. Yeah. But my thing I don't understand is, do you like or do you hate war? Because your dialogue flip-flops, man.
Yeah.
Then there's his assistant, Lady Un, who literally has a split personality.
Yeah. That was confusing.
Where one of her personalities is war-loving and the other one is total pacifist.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out that was the same character.
Yeah, I didn't know that until my second viewing of it.
I was watching it and I was just like, she looks kind of like Lady Un, but obviously it's not.
No glasses, no hair, no Leia buns, and very sweet and kind.
Yeah. I don't know how much more time we should spend on the characters, because there's a lot of characters.
Yeah. Well, my favorite character we haven't mentioned about is basically Zex's wingwoman.
Oh, Knowing?
Knowing.
Yeah.
Because she actually may be the best pilot, period, in that show. Because she's able to keep up with not only the Gundams, but an army of robots controlled by the Zero System just fine. And she's in a less powerful suit than everybody else.
Yeah.
And she's just... what I love about her is she may be a woman, but she is just that. She's a soldier first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
her gender does not define her.
No, and that's one of the things I loved about anime as a kid is I was so confused by a lot of Western shows. Girl power, and there's Lieutenant Knowing flying a giant fighting robot, bossing people around, and people forget. Oh right, she's a woman.
Yeah,
and also, yes, that chemistry between her and Zex is actually there on purpose.
Yeah,
they have kids.
Oh,
in the spin-off manga.
Oh, okay.
Or do they?
I don't know. You're giving a very intense look right now. We should maybe touch on the Zero System.
Yes, that is something I have to get into arguments with my friends who have watched the show and know it even better than me. So don't feel bad if you're confused by this.
Yeah.
But the Zero System is a big, fancy computer inside mobile suits that looks at everything going on the battlefield and basically, depending on the pilot, can determine what the outcome of a fight will be.
Yeah.
So when someone in cold is calculating as, say, hero gets in a suit, it can determine the best way of killing everybody.
Yeah.
When someone as flip-floppy as Catra gets in, it drives him bonkers because all he can see is not only every way to kill everybody, but every way he'll get killed by them. It doesn't guarantee victory. It just gives you the best course for it. And if
it's sort of like a predictive.
Yeah, it's a lot of my friends say it can see the future. No, it is not precog.
No.
It basically, if you have a goal, like for example, you want to get to the store. The Zero System would find every way of getting to the store, including flying through a house.
Yeah. I guess in a way it can technically kind of see the future. But not really. It's not saying, this is the future, this will happen. It's saying...
there is a 95% chance if you blow up that robot, it'll cause a chain reaction that blows up all the ones to its left.
But
the problem with the Zero System is, just because let's go back to my example, you want to get to the store, that's your goal.
Yeah.
It gives you every way of getting to the store.
Yeah.
At once.
Yeah. Most
people go mental from it.
Yeah. Which is where the show was starting to get really interesting for me.
Yeah,
and I'm at the early stages of the Zero System.
The Zero System, a lot of people say Hero changes his character a lot, and you can point to the Zero System doing that, because the thing is, it doesn't just give you combat data. Because Hero is focused on a goal, it's also calculating his goal, so it can let him see the best way.
Yeah.
Zex also gets the Zero System. He has a different goal, but he basically Zex and Hero have the same goal. Peace.
Yeah.
Why are they fighting? They have the exact same computer system. They're two very different people who don't see the same options. For example, going back to my example of going to the store, Zex may see flying through all these houses as no loss. Hero may see I have to fly around them.
Okay, yeah.
Because it gives you all the same data and you have the same goal, the person determines what they want. And that's why not everyone can use this system, because either you can't take that much data or you don't have a strong enough will for this outcome. Like, going back to the store example, you kind of want to go to the store, but you're not really sure now is the right time, and oh great, now the computer's also figuring out when's the best time to go to the store, and what's the best thing to buy at the store, and okay, my nose is bleeding because I got too much data.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why some characters just like, I ain't flying that. Nope. No. But a lot of people think, oh, if you fly it, you're guaranteed victory because you can see all the outcomes. Yeah, just because you can predict the future does not mean it can make favorable answers come out of nowhere. In fact, I think once or twice, it actually tells Hero, no, there's no outcome that if you do, there's no way of stopping this. He does it anyway, despite the fact the system is telling him, this is stupid, but your goal is to live, but you're trying to do this, there's no... And at some points, Hero starts talking to the Wing Zero, as if it's alive.
Oh, fuck.
But I don't know if he's just doing it for the sake of having a conversation with nobody. Right. It's in his head. Or some people actually think it's learning sentience because it's that smart. I don't buy that third one. I just buy he's talking to it for the sake of...
Yeah.
You know how some stories people talk to their weapons all the time.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Okay, yeah.
And plus, it's a humanoid shape. That would make me want to talk to a giant robot even if it couldn't respond to me.
Yeah, that's true. Man, this show alone is a deep fucking well of conversation. Like,
and it's not my favorite Gundam show.
It's a fraction of the franchise.
Yeah.
So obviously we're gonna come back to Gundam.
Oh yes.
I mean, we haven't even touched on the Gunpla.
Gunpla is a very important part of Gundam, which you may have never bought Gunpla in your life, but it's affected your life if you're a nerd.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I believe that. I don't even know where to go. I know we're running a little short on time here, but how do you where do you even? There's so much to touch on in this fucking show.
Yeah. I hope some people who are listening to this are now confused and want to watch it to prove how bad we are at telling about this, or have rekindled their need to watch this show. Look, I just want people to watch this show.
Yeah.
It may not wow you as much as other shows, but this is an important part of my childhood. This show, while I didn't really... it was a slow burner for me. I watched it for the fights. I understood the story somewhat, but I kept coming back to it the older I got.
Yeah.
And it's definitely shaped me into a very different person. And while I don't think some of the characters hold as strong of a feel on me, it's definitely one of those shows I can point back to saying, this is why I want to understand politics a bit more, because...
Okay, yeah.
You know, you don't think there's politics in a giant fighting robot show.
Oh, fuck.
This show is crammed with it.
This is 95% politics and 5% robot.
Yeah.
It's so political.
But at the same time, it's not... Okay, it's not greatly political written, but when you think about it back in the 90s... Compared to other shows we got in the mid-90s to late 90s.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
Because, they are questioning the use of force for the outcome of peace.
Yes.
That is a major theme.
Yeah, that's a major theme. There's at one point, there's a kingdom that's totally pacifist, no military, and people still defend it. So does that break pacifism?
Yeah.
That's a question.
It is.
My answer to that question is, no, it does not, because the people who are pacifists never asked for protection.
That's true.
And there's just some other people who thought, I can't let this symbol of peace die. I will fight for it.
So I guess let's summarize the show in a way. Fantastic animation.
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack.
Oh, I love that soundtrack.
I love the soundtrack. Like, the sort of almost Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it's got a Mission Impossible. It's kind of a rock techno-ish kind of feel.
You know what? There's this one theme that keeps coming up when it seems like at the very beginning of a battle.
Yeah.
And it's like dun dun dun.
Yeah.
And I just realized it sounds kind of like Judge Judy.
You can't see the face I made, but now I'm picturing Judge Judy with the Gundam V thing.
Yeah.
I want the soundtrack myself.
I honestly got to a point, I would say maybe 10, 15 episodes in, where I skip the opening.
Yeah.
Because I cannot have that song stuck in my fucking head. Just Communication was stuck in my head for about 72 hours straight.
It's been stuck in my head for almost 20 years.
It won't go away.
No, it won't.
I'm hearing it now.
Yep.
I'm hearing it in my sleep. I'm being haunted by the opening theme to Gundam Wing.
But it's too good for you to get mad at it.
I'm singing words I don't know. I'm singing Japanese words that I can't pronounce.
You would hate going on cartridge with me, because I actually do play Japanese songs and sing along to them.
That's fine. I just can't take that song over and over and over. It's a great song, but when it is in your head and in your ears for 72 hours straight, you start to go a little Katra. You start to say, you know what, I'm going to blow this whole fucking place up.
Okay, in one of my favorite games, every time the Gundam Wing mobile suits show up, they play that song.
Wow.
And you can control every major character in that game.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and the worst part of it is, every time their turn ends and you pick the next one, they restart the song.
Oh my god. So I think at some point we're probably going to have to come back to this series itself.
We are definitely coming back to Gundam. We may not come back to Gundam Wing, unless people demand us to finish our ramblings on it.
Yeah, like there's so much more to touch on.
I definitely think we'll come back, when we come back to Gundam, we're going to ease ourselves back in with G Gundam.
Oh, yeah.
Just so we can have a show that's basically the way to describe G Gundam is, you know Gundam Wing, all the nuance and all the epicness it had to it? Yeah, throw that out and just put in Dragon Ball Z screams, power-ups, and bizarre kung fu attacks. Oh, and I just have to say this. One of the most important characters in G Gundam, his name is Master Asia.
Master Asia.
Yes.
Oh boy.
He's the guy Bruce Lee would chuck under his bed for.
Master Asia sounds like if you took someone who scoffs at anime and said, hey, what do you think the name of this anime character is? I don't know, fucking Master Asia.
Well, he's known as the Undefeated of the East. And at one point he decides to become Super Asia, where he'll be the undefeated of the North, South, West, and East.
Of course he does.
I love that mustached man.
It sounds just as subtle as Gundam Wing.
It's an environmental show.
So yeah, this was my first time watching it. I haven't even finished it.
I hope you do get a chance to finish it.
I definitely will. In summation, I guess, I really enjoy what I watched. I really liked certain aspects. This is my first time with Gundam, and I love the Gundam. I love the designs. I didn't
even get a chance to gush about how beautiful these suits are. There's not a bad suit in it. There's some that are B.
Yeah.
But B is the lowest grade. Everything else is either A or A+. Even the Gundams we weren't very pleased with, like the Sandrock.
Yeah.
It was a B.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, if someone handed me the keys to that, I would not be pissed off. There are other mobile suits throughout Gundam where if someone handed me the keys to it, I'd chuck it in the ocean, because, like, you're not making me fly that.
I don't love this as much as a lot of the anime that I have seen. Sorry, I can't say a lot of the anime I've seen. The couple anime I've seen, that the ones that I cling to more so. But
and it's like I said, it's a '90s show, so the coloration may be too dark for some people who are used to digital coloring. Yeah. The animation may not be wow you as much as it, but you got to remember this was all hand drawn.
Oh yeah.
And there's, like... I know a lot of hand-drawn shows in that time where you can notice, why is that guy in that scene? He's dead. I can't think of any time Gundam Wing had any major animation errors.
No.
And that's the thing I like pointing out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, is that a knock or a positive, that show?
It's an imperfect show, but when you kind of, like... There were times where I was watching it and I was like, oh god, this is, I don't want to, no. And then when I kind of stood back and looked, I was like, actually,
Yeah, basically, if this is your first Gundam, maybe don't marathon it. Maybe watch an episode, get up, walk around and think about it.
Yeah.
Let it settle in. Let it mull over in your brain.
As you read Wikipedia articles trying to understand it, like I did.
If you need to read Wikipedia after it, I am not saying that's a bad thing.
Oh.
I have watched this show at least a dozen times.
I think
still don't understand.
I think in the last 2 weeks I've spent more time on the Gundam Wiki than I have actually spent on, like, say, my own Facebook page or I don't know, any of those social media accounts. Like, I'm very, very familiar with that Gundam Wiki now. Gundam Wing Wiki, specifically. I do recommend it. I have to recommend it.
I hope we've piqued your interest in it. And like I said, if you want us to talk more about this, I'm sure we will, but not next week. Next week I think we have something else planned, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
I'm looking forward to it.
I started watching another anime because when I went to watch Gundam Wing, I couldn't get the first episode to work at the time, so I just turned on whatever else I had. And that is leading to something that I am very fucking excited to actually jump into. I'm a couple episodes in. My Hero Academia.
I cannot wait to talk about the show. It's...
Oh, boy.
I don't know if I like it more than Gundam Wing, but I love this. I love My Hero Academia, and it's so good. And I guarantee you, if you only like Western superheroes, you will still love My Hero Academia.
Definitely, I'm like literally 3 episodes in. It seems to be one of the more accessible anime I've seen in a long time.
Oh yeah, and it's written by a guy who loves Marvel and DC as much as anyone who lives here right now and is claws deep into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But yeah, let's save that for the next episode.
Yes, next episode we're gonna go beyond plus ultra. That's a thing from My Hero Academia.
I thought maybe I could laugh with this, but I'm gonna leave the awkward silence just for the hell of it, just for spite.
You are cruel.
Well, sometimes you just.
People may have guessed who my favorite character from that show is just from that thing I just did.
Yeah. So, I guess it's time to initiate the self-destruct on this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll make it out or not. Ooh.
No, wait, there's lots of snow around. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We'll just get hurt. We'll just survive an explosion, fall from a giant robot, and land in subarctic temperatures.
That's right.
Which means we'll be back up in a couple days.
Survive the explosion of the giant robot, and survive the fall 20 meters into the freezing snow. And we'll be back on the next episode.
Guaranteed that it was not mostly snow he landed on. He probably landed on pure ice.
I might have my arm in a sling, perhaps.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll probably just have that nose bandage you see.
Oh, yeah, the straight across nose bandage. Perfect. So thanks for listening. 2 episodes deep, and we're having a good time here.
I hope everyone's having half as much fun as we are.
I hope you understood half of what we said today.
Even a quarter would make me feel really good with my rambling.
I'm gonna have to listen to this episode a few times to understand what was even said here. As always, you can listen to other episodes of Final Form, Jedi Dropouts, and any other podcasts that come to my whimsy, I guess, over at www.jedidropouts.podbean.com or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
I do recommend you listen to the last Jedi Dropouts. That was actually a lot of fun, those questions.
We did have fun there, I gotta say. If you don't know, we did 30 random unseen questions. Myself and James Moss do the Jedi Dropouts podcast. So we prepared 15 questions each and just asked each other very randomly without having any preparation.
And they were all over the place.
Oh.
A couple of them I couldn't really go with because I don't know much about some things, but I still think it was a lot of fun to listen to, and I got to know a bit more about the hosts. And knowing more about these guys is always good for Blackmail. I mean...
for chemistry!
Yeah, sure that.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna watch my back here. Maybe not invite you into my home so openly.
I'll bring toys next time.
Okay, we're good. And I guess, did we come up with a sign-off yet? What's a good Gundam Wing sign-off?
I want to get close to the microphone and tell them I'll kill them, but that doesn't seem very friendly. So,
lots of ums. Lady ums.
What? That was terrible. That's absolutely... You know what? I'll kill you for that.
And until next time...
Bye, everybody.
Later!